Excuse me, sir. Is this the right place? I'm looking for Channel Ron.
Yes, yes. You must be Floyd Smith.
From Channel 4 News.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We spoke on the phone last week.
We did. You was interested in my moonshining operation I had going on here.
So this is the aircraft that makes the run to Canada?
This aircraft here pushes about 300 horsepower. I haul about 4 or 5 cases to Canada per week in this vessel right here. And it's been very successful for the past 12 years. So you may have noticed some of the bullet holes on the side.
I did. I was checking that out.
Checking that out there. So once in a while, the ATF doesn't really kind of agree on what I'm doing here. So I'm kind of, I'm going to say getting in the way of them going after the real bad guys. That's kind of what I'm going with there.
So you've taken gunfire in this
I
thing.
have, and I'm not sure if they're actually looking to get me or somebody else, but yes, I have been in the way of some gunfire at one time or another. One of the things that's really interesting about this aircraft is it's fully linked up with this van here that monitors the ATF at all times. So I can see exactly where they are in the event that I'm transporting whiskey, my moonshine, into Canada, but I can find out exactly where they are, and that's all transmitted through the satellite directly to this aircraft right here. So if you like, we can kind of go over and check that out and show you a little bit about how that works.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as I said before, this is all linked up directly to the plane, so anything that's happening here on the ground, happening in the sky, it all gets transmitted to here, then from here it heads right off into the plane.
So explain some of this to me, this here and
okay,
what's
absolutely,
happening over
absolutely. So real quickly, basically what's happening is my system is currently tracking an ATF plane right now, and so it's flying over, it's looking for my still. And this is all happening live as we speak through one of very many of my satellites that I have up in the air, which we can talk about another time. Okay. These are all my satellites that are currently online. This is roughly where they are. So this satellite right here, the GPS-19, is actually what spotted the ATF airplane that's happening here. Obviously I have the weather, that's what's happening too. This weather is transmitted right to my plane to kind of keep an eye on things at the same time. What's happening over here is this one here is actually looking for an ATF plane at the moment, which is this satellite over here. So roughly that's kind of what's happening in the surveillance band at the moment.
Okay. Tell me, Ron, many people in your line of work end up either in prison or worse. How is it that you continue going? Just one of many questions I'd like to ask.
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question. A lot of it has to do with the technology that I constructed here. I mean, this is really where it's all happening. If it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now. But to answer that question more in detail, maybe what we could do is you could meet me here, say tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. You take the time, whatever works well for you, and you come along with me, and we can head on up and we can make a delivery over to Canada. What do you think of that?
Well, now these are illegal flights, are they not?
Well, it depends. It depends. Maybe I'm not delivering whiskey or moonshine. Maybe I'm delivering flowers. But all I'm saying is, if you'd like to come along and see how it all works, but as I've said before, if any of this ends up in the wrong hands, let's just say that I used to dig foundations for a living. Okay, so if we're on agreement, you're welcome to come along.
It's against my better judgment, but I will come along, and I assure you, I won't expose your secrets.
Okay, all right, good enough. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you, sir.
This is Airport Information Victor, time 2015 Zulu. Wind 300 at 35 knots, gust 50. Visibility 1/2 mile in heavy rain and thunderstorms. Ceiling overcast 300 feet. Temperature 2.21. Altimeter 2960, falling rapidly. Remarks, severe thunderstorms over the field with frequent lightning. Wind shear and microburst activity reported. Moderate to severe turbulence from the surface to 4,000 feet. Standing water on all runways. Braking action poor. All pilots are strongly advised not to depart at this time. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Okay, Well, sorry about the rough takeoff there, Mr. Smith. I hope it didn't upset you in any way. I'm fine. I got your email last night, and I went through some of the questions, and I'm not exactly sure how to answer some of those, but I'm going to do the best that I possibly can. So, anytime you're ready, go ahead and shoot.
Okay, Ron, let's start with the aircraft. What can you tell me about this plane we're flying in right now?
Well, it's a 2010 Vagabond experimental aircraft that I picked up many years ago, and basically I've done pretty much most of the modifications myself. And as we had talked before down on the ground, we basically are connected through the surveillance van to help me understand what's going on around me.
Okay, how much moonshine can a single trip like this carry?
Well, if you weren't here, a bit more. But right now I think I've got 12 cases in the back behind me. So anywhere between 12 and 15 cases I can haul at any given time.
Okay. What weather conditions are you willing to fly in? And what kind do you absolutely avoid?
Well, that's a good question. The reason why I'm so successful is because I will fly in any weather. I don't care what it is. The hardest part about the snow for me is landing, because usually I can land anywhere in any kind of field or pasture or whatnot, but with a lot of snow on the ground, and if it's snowing, it's really kind of hard to judge. And I've had a couple of close mishaps on that, but generally just about any kind of weather.
Interesting. Looking at the dash here, can you walk me through what we're seeing on the screen?
I can go through a couple of things here. Again, some of the stuff is kind of unique, and you're not going to see it in a lot of aircraft, but basically what you're going to be seeing here is this is all basically connected to the van. You've seen the same screen down on the ground. You've seen some of the other things I've done here. I'm not really willing to go through a lot of that, but this one here is connected directly to the satellite system that I have currently got installed. But that's about it. Pretty much everything else you see here is pretty normal for a small aircraft.
Okay. Where does the moonshine you transport actually come from?
Well, again, some of these questions I really wasn't sure if I wanted to reveal, but I think we are on a good understanding of, I want to make sure that we keep this as private as possible.
Sure.
But I produce all the moonshine myself. I have my own stills. I have 3 stills that I currently have running at all times.
Interesting.
And so I basically I produce all the moonshine myself.
Okay, all right. Why choose a plane for this work instead of simply using a car?
Well, that's a real good question as well. Back when I was running it on the ground, I had a 58 Chevy pickup, and I was very successful with that until the police department, or ATF so to speak, picked up something a bit more reliable, and it would outrun me. And so they kind of would catch up with me quite a bit. And one day they caught up with me a little bit too much, and put me right off the road on that truck. So then I thought I'd switch up to a 68 Dodge Charger, and that car went really well. I did a lot of runs with that with that vehicle.
So they never actually apprehended you?
No, I was able to get out of the vehicle before they would catch me, and I didn't have to worry about the VIN numbers or anything like that, because again, that's something that I've changed, so they were never able to actually track me to that vehicle.
Okay.
The worst part about it is when I had the Dodge Chargers, they updated to a Dodge Challenger, and then they were able to really catch me with a much faster car. So basically I had to switch over to something much different.
I see. Yeah. What about a snowmobile in the winter? Ever tried that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, we're not far from where I had actually got nabbed on that. Down below here I was transporting some shine with a snowmobile, and they caught wind of where I was, and I wasn't paying attention to where their planes were, and they blew it out with me on it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It was a bad situation.
So sustain any major injuries?
Major injuries.
Wow.
Major injuries.
Okay.
I was in the hospital for about a month. So I had to say that it was just a snowmobile accident. I really didn't want to reveal what actually happened, but yeah, it was a bad situation.
Wow. Okay. Have you considered using a boat for the job?
I have. Normally what I use the boat for is just transporting my still, because the property that I'm on, I have a lake to go across, and basically I just kind of use the boat to transport still components and parts and whatever else I may need. But it's not as effective because you're limited to where you can go with the boat.
True. Okay. Yeah. Or an ATV for rough terrain?
Yep, we've used that. That's been a very good good way of transporting moonshine. I've had very good success with that. Again, they caught wind of me and I wasn't paying attention, and they blew that one up as well with me on it. But I wasn't as injured as quite as bad as the last time. I kind of learned my lesson. In fact, that was not far from this location, right down in there. Right down that field that you see down there. That's where that actually happened.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's been quite interesting.
No, I'm sure. It sounds like quite a risky life.
Oh yes, absolutely. But the rewards are very good.
When you're out in the forest, are you worried about someone stumbling onto your still?
No, because again, this is one of those questions I wasn't sure that I wanted to answer. But I own over 100,000 acres of land that we're still flying over, actually, and I'm not worried about anybody. I got no trespassing signs, and the people that do go on my property, they're hunters, and cash takes care of that problem.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of wondering whether I should ask that question. That's kind of why I stumbled, but I figured I'd go with it anyway. But,
No, not a problem.
Thank you for the answer.
Absolutely.
Do you ever have problems with wildlife getting into your hatch?
Wow. Okay. Now you gotta pay attention. Yes, I have, and I was kind of curious at who was getting into my stash, mash, and the whole 9 yards. And someone's getting into my moonshine, and so I happened to just kind of sit up one day and sit up in my stand, saw nothing, so I decided to sit down on the ground and packing up my stuff, and lo and behold, Mr. Bigfoot.
Well, no kidding.
No kidding. And I have him on film. Actually wandering away from my still, and he had a frog in his hand, believe it or not. He was carrying a bullfrog. So I think he got into my moonshine a little bit too much, and he was carrying a frog. Now, I do have video. I know you're going to ask me if I have video. I do have video. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I did not waste my time pulling out my iPod, my iPad, or my 4K camera, because anytime you see spottings of Bigfoot on TV, they go for the worst camera.
Yeah.
So I pulled out my old 35 millimeter camera from the 1970s, and that's what I used to film it, because I thought that would make it more realistic, because that's what everybody else uses. I do have a couple of photos as well of Bigfoot. So there we have it. So to answer your question, yes, I've had problems with things like that.
Okay. I mean, regarding Bigfoot, whether or not you saw him, that's another story for another time.
Absolutely.
But I'll just let that one go. With your ingenuity, why not use a drone for deliveries?
Well, the problem with the drone is they caught on to me, and they were starting to track my every location with the drones, and it took me a while to figure out that they were actually taking their time to catch me on these drones. But again, they blew those out of the sky. As soon as I would send them up, they would blow them out of the sky.
How do you get access to satellite technology?
Well, again, a lot of these questions are kind of interesting. I have my own lab, and I built my own satellites. I have 12 satellites currently, and these are what you're seeing on the screen here now.
Okay.
Those satellites now are currently revolving around the Earth and sending me the information. So these satellites are my own creation from my own lab.
Wow, so you built your own satellites and sent them to space yourself?
Well, I have a friend that has access to getting them into orbit, and I really don't want to go into that right now.
Okay, all right. I read somewhere you've even used a horse to haul moonshine. Is that true?
Yeah. There's a story behind that. The problem with a horse, or hoss, or whatever you want to call it, is that they're very slow. You know, when you load them up by themselves, they move along pretty quickly. But when they're loaded up with Shine, they move a little slower, and you have to be careful of your product as well. And so I did that for a while until I was down this trail, and I noticed, I could just tell that something was around, and sure enough, they busted me. Believe it or not, I got away. I dropped the Shine, and that horse got me to safety. But they were ahead of me again, and they captured me. And I don't really want to go into the aftermath of that, but I often wondered what had happened to that horse. I looked for him for many months and never did find out what happened to him.
Okay, all right. How do you keep track of patrol aircraft in the area?
Oh, that's a simple one. That's a simple one. So what I did is I found out where the ATF keeps all their aircraft, and I snuck in one evening, and I planted some tracking devices on them, so I could see exactly where they were at all times, and that's what you're seeing on the screen here. All the aircraft that are in the air. They currently have 4 aircraft in the air right now, and we can see them. So I'm going to avoid that area. So that's where they're looking, and I'm over here. So if they start moving over in this direction, I'll move over in that direction. So yeah, it was risky tracking all the aircraft. So again, just stuck in, put tracking devices on them, and off we go.
Oh, okay. You leave nothing to chance, it seems.
No. Oh, no. No, I'll try anything. Yeah, I'll try anything.
I understand none of this is taxed. How have you managed to avoid getting caught?
Cash, my friend, cash. It's all cash. We don't deal with anything but cold, hard cash. Yeah, absolutely. So you don't know it, but you're sitting on about $300,000 underneath your seat.
Oh,
and I hope we can kind of keep that to ourselves, but you know,
yeah.
We need cash. You never know when you're going to need some cash right then and there.
Okay. Are you concerned about losing your pilot's license over this?
Well, good thing we're in the air now, because you may have not got in with me. I don't have a pilot's license. We don't need no stinking pilot's license. We're in the air, we're doing fine.
How long have you,
Well, let's just say long enough to avoid things. You know, we can't always avoid stuff. But once in a while, things do happen, but no problem at all. You gotta remember, I'm out here where no one else is. And I'm not flying into any airports or anything like that. I'm flying into pastures and fields and so forth.
Okay. All right. Concerns me a little bit, but all right. You seem to be doing.
Oh yeah, we're fine.
All right. Well, are you worried your tail number could get you caught?
Oh no, not at all. No, you've seen the old James Bond movies. You think that stuff is not real? Check this out. You see this on this dash here? I can go and I can change this tail number to anything I want. So I can go. This is what my tail number is now.
Okay.
Okay. I hit it again, and now this is my new tail number. Hit it once more time. There's another tail number. Okay. We can't see it. But I trust you back there, the numbers have changed, and I can go ahead and change it one more time, and I have a different tail number. So even if they get close to me and get my tail number, it's going to be a bogus number, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
Very slick.
Oh yeah, nothing but the best.
Well, in bad weather like tonight, have you ever had to land in unfamiliar territory?
I have. Just last week, I got out there, and it was a bad thunderstorm. I couldn't see anything in front of me. I was actually having some problems with my instruments, so I decided to set down into an unfamiliar territory. A gentleman came out with a shotgun. He was not happy at all, you know, landing in his cornfield, and made kind of a mess. But as I said before, cash takes care of a lot of problems. Yes, sir. So took care of that problem, paid for his crops, paid for his time, and in fact, I got a nice meal out of it after that.
Well, I hate to ask this question, you know, regarding, you know, what you were just talking about not having a pilot's license. Have you ever had a crash or a rough landing?
Yeah, I've had several rough landings. As I said before, landing in fields and pastures and stuff like that. A lot of rough landings, a lot of flats. You know, I've had a couple of mishaps, but nothing I couldn't get solved and get back in the air. But I did have one that I put the nose into the woods. That was kind of a tough landing. nice about that is I landed into an area where the gentleman was really nice about the whole situation. Again, threw him some cash, towed it into his garage, fixed her back up, and I was back and flying in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm considering the weather tonight, I am a little concerned about.
Oh yeah, and it's to be expected. It's to be expected.
With the risk you take, do you carry a firearm?
I do not carry a firearm. Believe it or not, as risky as this is, I don't believe in firearms. I believe in cash. Cash, as I've talked over and over before, I mean, I can get a lot more done and a lot of problems solved more with cash. I feel as if I pull a firearm out, I'm just asking for trouble. With cash, you know, you can make friends with anybody with cash.
True.
No problems at all. Generally, I've never encountered any issues giving somebody cash. Although they'd like to get me out of their yard as quickly as possible.
I see you only have one parachute back here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I generally don't have passengers in this aircraft, and I didn't really feel as if it was necessary to pack another parachute because, you know, again, I'm kind of looking out for myself in so many ways. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like I say, I'll get this baby on the ground. As rough as it may seem, I'll get this baby on the ground. So you will not need a parachute. But just in case, I have one.
I think I have everything I need.
Yeah, like I said, that's basically, sometimes I get a little too close to the trees and they'll protrude up through the floor. You may have noticed that hole down in the floor there. So yeah, I've had to patch that up a couple of times. And sometimes I get a little too close to the trees and I'll get some of that stuff up through there.
Oh, I wish I would have known some of this
Yeah.
stuff before I come up to this plane.
Well, you're perfectly safe. You're perfectly safe.
Yeah. Well, I think I have everything I need. Do you think you can land this thing? So I can get out of here?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My stop is about 3 miles from here, but I really don't want you involved in that transaction. So I think what I'll do is I'll set her down in that field over there, let you out, and the big question is you know, how are you going to get back?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm okay just getting out.
Okay. All right. Well, fantastic, fantastic. So I guess this interview is all set. So I hope this helps you out a lot, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Ron.
No problem.
Oh, what a night. Holy cow. Let's see what's on the old tube tonight. Oh. Nice.
Oh, I burned up my garage.
Good evening. I'm Floyd Smith of Channel 4 News.
Here we go.
Tonight we take you inside a dangerous world above the clouds.
Oh,
I recently
yeah.
boarded a small plane flying through rough weather with a man known only as Channel Ron.
Woohoo! Here we go.
He openly admits to running illegal moonshine.
Whoa,
as he
whoa.
crosses the Canadian border.
Wait a minute.
Dodging taxes, law enforcement, and even wildlife.
Hold on there, Smith.
Stills are hidden. Over the years, Ron's used cars with snowmobiles and even horses, but says nothing matches the stealth of his two-seater aircraft.
Hey, this wasn't our agreement, pal.
Authorities warn his tail number could give him away, but Ron insists he's always one step ahead.
What is going
Our
on?
exclusive in-flight interview airs tonight at 11.
This is not going to work out good for you, pal. Ugh.